And we're rolling.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy Monday.
Oh my God, weird, because we're recording this on a Tuesday. Every single time we pre-record, it's always just like this weird, like, I feel like I'm talking to my future self.
Yeah.
Like, weird thing for me.
Also, do you consider this pre-recording?
Yeah.
I feel like we're just recording.
Because it's a Monday episode.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we're about to talk about the Met, and like that happened last week.
Right.
Is this irrelevant? But no, we have thoughts.
Oh, yeah. We went in yesterday.
I thought you were about to say we went. I was like, no, we didn't. But I fucking wish we did.
One day.
Let's start. With...
Only a very small amount of people actually understood the assignment.
Agreed.
I'll just say that.
But I just want to start with Pete Davidson.
Oh, okay, yeah. He wore a dress and fucking rocked it.
He looked so good. He was very like Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Like he took like a spin on like women in office type vibe. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm just overinterpreting it. Interpreting. Because I don't think there was anywhere where he explained it.
Like any references?
That was just where my head went when I saw it. Like it was a very like womanly, obviously it was a fucking dress, but like the jacket, the cut of the jacket was very like Jackie
and the
Kennedy.
detail on the neckline was very conservative, but like I feel like when women in office, they like want to show their spunky side, they like get crazy with the detail on the neck,
right? Like, wow, I'm gonna work today.
Yep.
I'm gonna save the world one day at a time. Yeah, honestly, I know I'm biased. Like, honestly, he could have wore anything. I would have been happy.
Right.
But I think he came through. Like, I think it was really, really cool. He looked so good.
From a non-lover of Pete.
I don't think there's any. No such thing. Well, I'm just kidding. There is.
Like, I'm not in love with the guy.
Right.
He did great.
Me either. Yeah.
He did great. Can we talk a little bit about Kim Kardashian's outfit?
Yeah. It was very Kanye of her to do.
Well, so people said it was an obvious nod to Donda because obviously the Donda album cover is just a black square. Mm-hmm. But I saw some people say it was a nod to the fact that she could walk up covering her face, covering her whole body, and like a relatively like form-fitting like all black outfit, and we still know who it is.
Right.
Like we know her from her body and like what she puts on social media, and like she's just like this figure who could do whatever she wanted, and we'd still know who she is. So yeah, that was like if that was her intention, sick. Yeah,
it's always hard. I feel like the people who don't explain what they're wearing at the Met, it's up for interpretation, which is great.
Yeah.
But then all the creatives watching are coming up with these conspiracies and these things, and then they kind of just like, they're like, yeah, what that person said. And it's like, what was your intention?
Yeah.
Though? That's what
for that.
Yeah. Like I think it should be like mandatory that at the top of the stairs, you explain why you chose what you chose, even if it's just because I like it.
Especially like with a theme.
It's always a theme too.
Well, no, I'm saying like a theme such as in America right now.
Right.
Like I feel like we noticed a lot of people wore either red or blue and sparkles.
Yeah. It looks like it was like an American theme day at school. Like just Star Spangled Banner. Like that was really the majority of what people thought. Even like Hailey Bieber, I watched her vlog today. She released a vlog where she got ready and everything. And she, when she explained it, I understood it a little bit more. She was like, Justin and I just wanted to be really classic, like old money Hollywood classic. So she wore a, plunging neckline, tight black dress, and he wore a classic, well, it wasn't a classic tux. It was very like, almost like a Zoot vibe, minus the coattails. And I understood that when she said it, so it did make it a little bit better. But when I first saw her before explanation,
it looks like a prom outfit.
I was like, what the hell? Like, this did not serve.
And then you have who wore the Tax the Rich?
Oh, AOC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. She killed that. She looked so good too. I love like the film photo that she released with that. It was very like edgy of her. But yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. And even what J-Lo wore, like very like wild west, like,
and Sierra,
the fucking football, like
sick.
That's exactly what people should have done. Just there was other ones we were thinking of, like Barbie did a flapper girl, and honestly even Kendall Jenner did a look from Breakfast at Tiffany's, which that's an American classic. Like there is so much people could have done. There was other ones you and I said that would have been really cool. I said I would have done like an all denim look, even though I know we like damn near have a picture of it on here, but I know like Britney did it and shit, but like, or like a really iconic look of someone so iconic like Britney Spears would have worked.
Right.
I don't know. There's so many people that just underdelivered.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. I feel like 2019 camp theme, people went so crazy with the theme because obviously camp is such a broad spectrum of styles. But I feel like people this year just didn't like.
I don't think they cared. I don't know. But it sucks. It was fucking America.
Yeah.
Like, was there anything for Black Lives Matter? I didn't see. I feel like it hopefully would have been in the press more, but I didn't even see anything for that. I saw like one or two things for women empowerment, which still blew my mind. I was
Nikki Tutorial's outfit.
Yeah, I saw that. And then I saw someone else. She was like an older woman. I forgot her name. There's also so many people that go where I'm like, who is that?
Yeah. You know what crossed my mind is imagine being the person who has to like make sure everyone who's supposed to be invited is actually invited. Like, think about like being the assistant who just like forgot to invite fucking Jennifer Lopez. Like, right. You know?
Like forgot to press send.
Yes.
Do they have to RSVP, you think?
I'm sure
they do because everything and shit. That and everything people wear has to be approved by Anna Wintour. Did you know that?
No.
Everything that people wear.
That's I wonder crazy. Like why like
she's fucking Anna Wintour. She did whatever the fuck.
No. I wonder like why she saw like the master list of everyone's outfit and was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Where are my people?
I think that there was something different on the planning this year too, because Hailey's vlog, she expressed that she was doing such a last minute fitting, so maybe a lot of people were just scrambling.
Yeah. And I also saw the person that Nikki Tutorials was standing with in her interview with Emma.
I saw that
he like had a miscommunication with his outfit and like it didn't it like fell through 3 hours before.
Yeah, Emma was like, you look great, and he's like, well, I was actually supposed to be wearing a really cool dress.
Yeah,
but it fell through, blah blah blah. Also, Emma fucking killed it.
Oh my god, yes,
it was so cool to see her do that. She did so well. I obviously watching it, I put it into perspective, like if I was doing that, because I feel like that would be something really fun for me to do. I think it'd be fun to interview people, but I also don't know if I could handle it. Like she seemed so... She
was calm, collected, like asked all... Like she made other people feel comfortable.
Yes.
Like she did great.
I would love to like ask her about it one-on-one. Like actually hear how she felt about it. But she fucking killed it. And she looked so good. She looked so like classy. I feel like a lot of people whose first time it was at the Met, you're under a microscope. Like people are like, it's your first time, better show up. But like cut them slack. Like if it's your first time, you're probably too nervous to make a final decision because you're like, is this right?
Right.
And like most of the time, I feel like you don't even really fully choose what you get to wear. A lot of like, at least like young stars, I feel like you're kind of forced to wear what you have to wear. Like I wonder if Emma, I love what she wore to death. I love it to death. But I wonder if she chose it because I know she clearly has some big contract with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they were like, yo, you need to wear this. Or if she like at least had some
interesting
choice. She seemed excited about it either way. So I'm assuming she still liked it regardless. But yeah, I feel like people are so rude to like, I know people gave Addison Rae heat because it was, it looked like Courtney's Christmas dress from like 2018. Did you see that?
Did it?
Or,
no.
I don't know, 2018, some previous year. I guess it resembled it, but it was not it. It was not the same dress.
It's a red dress.
It was a red dress. People gave Olivia Rodrigo shit because they were like, this looks very like not even like ball appropriate, but it still looked really good. And you know, we were talking about it too when we were going through all the looks last night. Like so many of the looks alone, beautiful.
Yeah.
It would look so good at a beautiful party, whatever. Stunning. They all look good alone, but it's something like there's always going to be best dressed, worst dressed because you're comparing to the other people that are there.
Right. And for something such as big as the Met, like people are expected to like go all out, and when you don't, you're like kind of scolded.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Right. But it's like maybe like I don't know. I feel bad because I put it in perspective. If I went, like, I feel like I would naturally, if anything, like under deliver because I'd be so nervous.
Oh, I don't think so.
Not purposely. I just mean, I think what would end up happening is like, I'd be like, oh, I don't know. Like
play it safe.
Yeah. I'm nobody. Cause like, you know, you're walking like that's obviously my personal confidence, but like I'd be walking up and being like, okay, but fucking J-Lo's about to walk up. Like it doesn't really fucking matter what I wear because Luke is about to walk up after me. I don't know. Just something I thought about. Billie looked amazing. That's all I'm saying.
Stunning.
Billie looked so cool. Usual. I think this whole like happier than ever thing she's doing is showing like such a feminine side of her and such a new side of her that's really cool. Phineas looked amazing. I loved like the all red look. I'm glad they didn't coordinate, and I'm glad they didn't walk together.
Yeah.
I just had that thought in my head because like I feel like they're constantly grouped together, but like Phineas is so fucking dope on his own too, and like his music. Like I'm glad people are finally seeing him as his own artist as well, rather than just being like Billie's brother that helped with everything.
Right.
So that was cool. He looked really good. Yeah, that's about it for the Met. What else do I have written down? Besides, God, just Pete looked so good, you guys. I just can't.
You should have seen her reaction.
No. Okay. You shouldn't have seen it. It was like, I don't know. He just looked so good. I'm like, I don't think I've ever been so attracted to a guy. Like, he's so good looking. Yeah. I love his energy. Oh my God. It's like talking to a wall when someone doesn't relate to.
No, I mean, I get it. He's sexy.
He's sexy. I love him. What else? So I kind of said this on Friday's episode for our patrons, but this past weekend I saw Tanner, and I feel like you guys are just as invested in this as everybody else. So it went well, and I'm bringing this up because it's relevant to our topic today. As you can tell by the title, we're talking about, I don't know what we're going to title it yet, but just if we're ready for love. How do you know if you're ready for love?
The next step after a breakup.
Kinda.
Step process. The next process.
Yeah. Not for me, though. I went through so many other processes, not even having to do with love.
It's all part of like a whole grander scheme.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get to that in a sec. But I saw him, and I hadn't seen him since we like ended things, and as you guys know, but we saw each other, and it went really well. Like a lot better than I thought it would. I was kind of nervous because I also didn't want to cross a line by seeing him and like have it
mean something more to him than like maybe just like seeing each other.
Yeah. So that was nice. But we kind of just came to the conclusion we're like, this is how it is supposed to be, and you are my best friend, and like that's not going anywhere.
I'm glad it landed there.
Me too. It's like I feel like all tension is gone, at least on my end. Like I've spent these past months like not wanting to give too much to him, but don't want to give him the wrong impression, but I also don't want to be stone cold because like he is still one of my best friends, right. And like I don't want to.
I think it's going to take a little bit of like time and working out to like find that happy medium again of like being friends, but like you said, not leading on in any way. Mm-hmm. But that'll come naturally.
For sure. And I think I'm not worried about it at all because at the end of it, like we're so honest with each other.
Right.
I straight up said that. I was like, hey, like I really don't want to ever give you the wrong impression. So like, I don't want to come over tonight, or I don't want to, you know, like we're so honest with each other. So that's really nice. We're able to kind of like lay those boundaries and whatnot, but there's a little bit of a Tanner update. What else?
I went out this past weekend and I met a fellow web designer. And we had a really good conversation that kind of like opened my eyes a little bit as like a newbie in the industry.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've talked about it before, but like I really want to learn how to code. I feel like I've always felt like it would not set me apart, but like just like push my career further in a certain way.
For sure.
And I was talking to him about it, and he was like, hold on, you're a web designer? And I was like, yeah. He was like, this might not make sense to like a lot of people who, I don't know. He was like, okay, so look at it like you're building a house. You have construction workers, you have project managers, and you have the architect. You as a web designer are the architect. You're not going to go grabbing a hammer and nails and going and like building the house yourself. It's just not what you do. Yeah. So I was like, I like sat on that for a little bit and I was like, you're right. Like me thinking that trying to like learn how to code isn't like furthering my career. I said that I was like, I want to be like a full stack designer. He's like, there's no such thing. Like people hire the construction worker, they hire the project manager, and then they hire the architect. And they're not going to hire someone who could do all three. Like the job just doesn't exist. Yeah. And I was like, I never thought of it like that. Like I always thought that like having all three would like set me apart, but it doesn't. And like it really put into perspective for me that like I need to focus on like what I'm doing and not try and like bounce around so much. Yep. It like kind of boosted my confidence a little bit. Good. Yeah.
I'm so glad.
It was cool that I like ran into him. He's been in the industry for like 20 years. First of all, I met him at the bungalow and we're like at the bar together getting a drink.
You're such a good designer. He like fucked up.
Right. He was, but like it was cool to hear his perspective from someone who's been in the industry for so long. And I feel like I've been hard on myself for like not knowing how to do certain things in the industry, and I shouldn't. Yep. So yeah, that's just kind of.
I'm so glad you ran into him. I think that was such a valuable conversation for you and a valuable thing to share to listeners. But like, I think the like all-in-one entrepreneur mindset is a super common theme in our generation because we all will just want to do it all and build our own businesses. I mean, that's a very big generalization, but like I feel like at least especially in LA, right? Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and not that you can't be if you aren't multifaceted, but I think there's a lot of value in being the best you can be at one thing. Yep. It's the eggs in basket reference. Like that time you could be putting into learning new things in your lane. If you still want to code, please go learn. Knowledge is power regardless. It would never be wasted. And you said the part about, I always thought it would set me apart. I think it still would. But as far as the job you want, not necessarily.
No, I would be a software engineer. I wouldn't like.
And that's not why you went to school. That's like, I can't see you doing that. Not because you're not capable, but like I feel like you wouldn't have fun doing it the way you have fun doing what you're doing now with your web design. So I don't know. I'm really glad you learned that, but I think that there's so much power in just focusing on one thing and
not being too hard on yourself to like, I don't know. I try and tell myself all the time to like, okay, slow down, Alex. You don't need to like constantly be investing in your future and like thinking about your career 5 years down the line. Like, I don't know, it was just like a nice reminder to like be happy with what I have now and like really nurture it. So
yeah. I love that. I need to like I need to write that down and read it a few times because I think there's a lot I could take from that too. I just haven't fully processed it yet. Right. That's hard. But yes, I'm so glad you talked to him. Oh my god, wait. What did I see today? Trailer for fucking season 3 of You.
Ooh.
Guys, October 15th. If you haven't watched You,
season 2 was my favorite. Yeah. Season 2 was so like delivered so well.
Yes.
The end, I did not at all like predict.
No.
Which is like it's hard to do for like multiple seasons in. You feel like you know where they're going.
Right.
This is crazy.
See, the last episode of season 2, Alex and I literally paused the screen and like fucking zoomed in to like some, I don't want to give anything away,
just like a detail that we could potentially
learn about season 3. And I'm just so excited for it. I hope it delivers. It was so good. It's so rare when you like season 2 more than season 1. Can't you agree?
Yeah.
Like usually it's like you can say you love it and it was good, but you always love season 1 more. Right. But like, no, this was actually
this was so good.
So I'm hoping they kill it. Now that it's pretty much spoopy season, also if you haven't seen
spoopy season,
Haunting of Hill House or Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus, Haunting of Hill House,
Bly Manor.
What are other scary shows? I feel like that's all I can think of. Just go Ratched is good. All the American Horror Stories. The new thing they're doing though.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about this. But
I think we talked about it a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that we weren't really happy with like some of the episodes.
Yeah, it's kind of corny.
And
not in like a good
The first
way.
one was good, and I like the callbacks that they do in the next episodes, but yeah, I feel like they could have done something a little different.
I agree. I think like that what's the word? What is the word? That audience is going to love whatever. American Horror Story audience is diehard. They will literally love whatever, and I'm sure it still did well. And I still watch it, you know, but it definitely wasn't as like mind wrenching as I wanted it to be. It was very corny. All of them were very
surface
corny.
level.
The social media one was awful.
Yeah,
it was fucking terrible. The Noah Cyrus one, it was okay. Yeah, I did kind of like it. It was really cool to see her, and I know like, one of our friends used to be friends with her and said like, no guys, like she's obsessed. Like that was probably like the biggest dream come true for her, and then she even expressed that online too, so that was public knowledge.
Kaya Gerber did great.
Oh my god, I loved her character.
I love her character. I think she's actually like a really good actress.
Me too.
I could see her playing different roles.
Yep.
Yeah, she was a good part of the show.
I hope she keeps acting. I think she's pretty good at it. She's good at being angsty. I'd love to see her in another role though.
Right. Sorry, you know what I want more of is Black Mirror.
Yes. Me too. But ever since Netflix bought it, they like pumped out hella shit, and then they were like, okay.
Yeah.
I remember reading somewhere or talking about it with somebody, but when I think it was with you, but I don't know where we learned this. When Netflix bought Black Mirror from, it was a UK line of some sort of network. They were like, okay, we're going to buy you, talking to the writers, we're going to buy you. It sounds like I'm saying buy you, like down by the bayou. But you need to pump out X amount of episodes within the next year of the contract. And it's like, those topics aren't just like little SpongeBob episodes that you can write on your car ride to the office. Like
they're probably so developed.
They're so developed and so deep. And I totally saw a drop in quality once Netflix bought it.
Totally.
That sucks. Oh, that's stupid.
I hope maybe this is why they're taking so long.
Hopefully.
It's because they're like really picking up the quality.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's that. Let's get into what we're wearing. Because we look different today.
Yeah, we look kind of cute.
The way I'm laying right now, it feels really good on my back though. Oh my god. We're dressed up because after this we're gonna go to a friend's barbecue because he's going back to the UK for 6 months.
Also, this is like triggered in my head, like this is so LA because we got like dressed up for a barbecue.
You're right.
Like people who are probably hearing like, oh, we're going to a barbecue, like why are we dressed?
I was like,
so
I'm going
cute?
to like a nice dinner. I'm wearing a corset and high-waisted dark denim and like booties.
Yeah, but
and a full face of makeup. Whatever,
who cares? We want to look cute.
It's whatever. But I'm wearing, my jeans are from House of CB. My corset's from White Fox Boutique. I think I have a code. I don't get anything for it, but you guys do. I think the code is Kristen.
I don't know.
I have a code. Shit. I do have a code though. I think it's Kristen. I think you get like, I don't know what percentage you get off, but you get a % off, but I do. Just try Kristen.
The worst influencer in the world.
Quite literally, yes.
Just kidding.
And fuzzy socks, which I was actually not even wearing these with the boots I was wearing. I just knew we were recording and I was like, oh, I need socks for the what
I don't think you'll ever catch us sockless.
Not on here.
No.
That's hecka weird. No. What are you wearing?
These are jeans from Garage. Also, I love like different ways people say garage. Garage. These are Garage. These are my cow socks. Cow from ASOS. And then this is a flannel from, what's the brand? Can you look?
Life Goes On.
Life Goes On. My friend Chris Villa got it for me.
Cute shit. I was gonna say one more thing. Oh, look at, if you're on visual, look at. If you're not on visual, come look.
Oh yeah, it's a cute little
I got a new mini purse. If you know, you know. I'm obsessed with mini purses. Fucking obsessed. And it's a mini denim one. It's from BP from Nordstrom.
Okay, so hear me out.
What?
Ew. This goes beyond the mini purse fad. That's a coin purse. Like your other mini purses look like actual handbags that are shrunk. This is a coin bag.
This But it fits my keys, my cards, chapstick.
Sure. But it's a coin purse.
But it has a hook like a bag. Like a coin purse doesn't even have a handle. It has a zipper, and that's it.
Okay, it's like this weird birthed child between a mini bag and a, you know.
It's a large coin purse.
Yeah. This is not a micro handbag.
I love it. I think it is. I think it totally is. I think it's a micro. It's a micro hobo bag.
I love it.
Oh my god, I can't get it off my wrist. It's really small. I just love tiny bags.
It's cute. I love the denim.
Thank you. Anyway, song of the day.
My song of the day. It's by Baby Jake.
Baby Jake.
We heard it last night while we were playing guards, and it is called "Daddy's Coming Home."
It's a good one. My song of the day is by Chris Renzema. It's called "Get Out of the Way of Your Own Heart." And I just realized this is actually really fitting for today's episode. But it's a good song. I drove home from the Bay yesterday, and any road trip you discover music, and it was one of those that I discovered.
Cute.
He's good. His other stuff is a little like slow. I didn't really love, but this song specifically, I think maybe just the name of it called me too.
Don't you hate that when you like find a really good song on like a cool playlist, and then you go and like listen to their other music, and you just like hope that it's gonna match
like your new favorite artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes like people just don't deliver.
It's just like a one song thing that you like. Yeah. That will be on our playlist. We have a playlist on Apple Music and Spotify. It's called
Oddvice Podcast Season 2 Songs.
Season 2 Songs. We also add songs on there from our Friday episodes that are Patreon exclusive episodes. So if there's any random songs that you're wondering, it's because it's from those other.
But they're good still.
They're so good. We just added Skinny Dipping by Sabrina Carpenter. Guys, it's such a good song. It's so cute. She's like great. The cutest. She kind of like talks in it too instead of.
Yes, it's conversation.
And I usually hate that. Like Taylor Swift does that in a few songs, and I'm like, I hate when people talk in their song.
Sure, it's different. Biggest Taylor Swift fan.
Me either.
Old shit.
Yes.
Catch old shit any day. But
literally
like,
shake my ass to fucking white horse. But yeah, the talking thing is usually corny, but something about Sabrina, she's effortlessly fucking cool, so she does it.
Right.
Okay, so before we get into today's episode, we actually have two sponsors. The first one is called The Pill Club. We've talked about them before, but let's talk birth control for a sec. I feel like it's already hard enough that you got to remember to take it every day. It gets so annoying when you forget to take it, or if you forget to go pick it up.
Right.
And then it's like a Friday and you can't go till Monday. It's a shit show. So The Pill Club is there to help you.
So The Pill Club is a subscription prescribed by medical professionals, and they deliver it to your door for free in like super discreet packaging. So it's like it comes to your door and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to like press renew.
Right.
You're all set.
And you don't have to worry about anybody knowing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with like anything. I feel like
personal,
like girl related. Like you never want to show that you ordered it online, because I'm like, if your parent sees it, or your roommate, or just like somebody you don't want to see, it's not fun.
You can keep it secret.
Also, their licensed medical team is just a text away to give you the best reproductive health care. The Pill Club carries over 120 FDA-approved brands. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $9 a month without insurance.
Nice. Yeah, I also noticed that they have my brand too.
Which really I knew cool. You like struggled with that before. Like, you had to go home sometimes, like a specific place to get it.
So skip the wait and join the club right now. When you go to thepillclub.com/Oddvice, the Pill Club is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org for every Oddvice listener who becomes a patient. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org.
That's pillclub.com/Oddvice to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. Remember, thepillclub.com/Oddvice. You must use the link to make the donation.
Thanks, Pill Club.
Okay, so our next sponsor is Dadgrass. I'm so excited to be working with Dadgrass. They are such a cool brand. I noticed that other weed brands nowadays, like everything is so concentrated. Like you have like the wax, all that stuff, the keef, and that works for a lot of people, but not for me, not for us.
No
like,
shot.
I like getting high, but there is that awful period where like you took too big of a hit and you're like, fuck, now I'm too high.
Yep.
But Dadgrass, they specialize in low THC and high CBD. So the THC,
perfect for like the mellow, like,
right? Because the THC is what's getting you high, if you don't know. So like the fact that it's so low, it's like very low risk.
It's like a smooth sail.
Exactly. With a dad.
Ooh,
with
dad.
a dilf.
All Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 21 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S.
Smoke responsibly, people.
Yes.
And right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/Oddvice.
Go to dadgrass.com/Oddvice for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/Oddvice. Thanks, Dadgrass. Go and get high.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited for this. I'm ready for today's topic. Honesty, we woke up today and we were like, what are we gonna talk about tonight? Like, we knew we had to record a fucking episode, but we didn't know what. I feel like a lot of our topics start with this narrative, but that's how you guys know you're getting the real us. You're getting what's going on in our life,
literally in that moment,
in that day, in that moment. Like, this is what was on my mind today. I brought it to Alex. She's like, ooh, fuck yeah, I love that. So we developed it a little bit. I spoke to my sister today. We had a big weekend together and a big conversation today about like how we kind of struggle. And we know we're not alone. We kind of struggle knowing, are we ready for love? Is it healthy for us to jump into something? There's so many questions, and regardless of your past, your traumas, I think it is kind of something the human goes through at some point.
It's a big question that you ask yourself, like, hold on, is this right? Is it right timing?
And it's like, then you're like, there's no such thing as wrong timing. But then again, you're also like,
I want to make sure I'm like ready and I don't mess like a big narrative for me has always been, I don't want to mess this up.
Yep. I don't want to go too fast.
Yeah.
But then like, why should I hold back?
What's too fast?
What's too slow? Or am I running away because I run away, or am I running away because it's actually bad?
Right.
That's like, maybe let's start there. That's probably my biggest thing right now.
Yeah.
Is like, am I running away out of habit, or am I running away because my gut
is saying it's
is
not
doing
right?
its job? Yeah.
Do you know? Do you have an answer?
No. That's why I'm doing this episode. Like, I don't fucking know. I can't tell what is right now. I think, so like in the beginning of this episode, you were saying this is generally like a big follow-up to breaking up.
Yeah.
And I get that. I think it's almost like the final step of it.
Right.
Because it's like you're about to get into it again.
Right. And it's like forever ongoing. Right.
For sure.
It doesn't come at any specific time of your healing process or like after a breakup in specific, but it is that step like right before you get into something new.
Yeah.
Where you're like, hold on, is this right?
Yeah.
And all these questions like form in your head. I don't know what.
This is also the first time in my life where I've honed in on myself mentally and been like, hey, are you ready? Before this, I didn't live that way.
Yeah.
I never, and I don't know if that comes with maturity or what, but like I always just did it when I wanted to.
And I think we had the same kind of like timing with our first adult relationship. So we were both 20, 21.
It's crazy. Not the year, the age.
Yeah. 2021, we met guys that we like got along with, and we like we built this connection. There was chemistry, and it kind of just like worked for several years. But then as you get older and you kind of like, after you go through your first heartbreak, you kind of know that like, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I don't want to waste my time. I feel like you start to learn to like value your time a lot more.
Yeah. And
you kind of like become a little bit more like, for lack of a better phrase, picky and choosy of like who you date. And I feel like that comes in with like all those questions of like, is this right?
And don't you feel like sometimes you're being too picky?
Totally.
Because it's like, there's never gonna be
no one's gonna be perfect.
A perfect person. It's the line where you have to start thinking about things you're willing to sacrifice or let fall back without completely dropping your standards.
Right.
Standards is a big one too. Like, oh my God, that burp like came up out of me. That was weird. I can't tell what my final standards are, because I feel like they change every fucking day.
Right. And that's what, like, getting out of like your first adult relationship and going through that heartbreak, you go through the like phase where you're like, okay, now I know what I want. Now I'm growing into the person that like I'm becoming. And you like build this kind of like checklist of standards.
Yeah.
But then as you move on, you start to realize that like not one person is going to hit everything on your checklist.
Yep.
B, there's always going to be people that like bring other things to the table. As you like go through your dating journey, I've noticed people are going to bring things to the table that like make you realize you are adding to like your standards. Like, you hold on, I like this about you. Why haven't I always looked for this in other people?
Yeah, because you didn't know until that person came into your life, which is also the beauty of like breakups and things ending, is that person might not have been your person, but boy, did they show you the thing you want / don't want.
Yeah.
Or, you know, both in the next person. And
does it kind of make you like, this crossed my mind when I got out of my first relationship. It kind of makes me like, I don't know, this is gonna sound bad, like I kind of want to like see what other people have to offer. Like, it makes me like excited to like learn about other people, because like, hold on, you just showed me something that I didn't have in a 5-year relationship in 2 months.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, what else can other people do? Like, it's, I don't know, is that bad?
That
like,
is not bad, Alex. That's amazing. That's empowering. That is coexisting. That is life.
But it's also like, am I ever going to be satisfied with anyone?
Right. That's why we're doing this episode, because I don't fucking know either. I'm like at a point where I'm like, I'm kind of cool with just like vibing with people in different phases of my life.
I've kind of like shifted gears to where like when I would date in like my late teens and like early 20s, I would like see, I don't know how to put this. Like, I would like seek out other people and like see who would like fit into my life. But like now, as I'm dating as an adult, I'm kind of like I picture like a conveyor belt, like whoever just like comes and goes.
Love that.
Like, I'm on my own path, and then like whoever's path meets mine, and then like it could veer, and then someone else can come in. But am I ever gonna like settle?
It's almost like to that point, because I kind of feel that way too. You can trust that it's not like a decision you're going to have to necessarily one day be like, oh, is this person going to be in my life forever? Because we both kind of trust that they will if they're supposed to be. Right. I think maybe letting the pressure go of planning love is honestly step one. Yes. Let's start there. Like,
looking for it, it's not going to happen.
It is not going to happen at all. I think I feel like we're gonna say so many cliches this whole episode, but
they're all fucking true.
They're cliches for a reason. They're exactly. If you're not just like chill with being alone, if you're not okay with being single, it's doesn't mean to go seek love. Maybe like
you're not gonna find that in someone else.
It's yeah, like you need to wait till you're okay with being alone.
Right.
And I'm there right now.
Yeah.
I am so okay with being alone, like almost too okay.
I love being single. If I wasn't able to like go to the bungalow and get 4 men's numbers, like
I would want to throw up.
Right.
But then I'm also like, I do love love.
I know. And like I want to give my love to one person, and like I want to share that experience with someone. Yeah. It's literally like a tug of war battle that I have with myself quite often.
Yeah. And I've like this past year for me, like I've found really deep connections. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys know Tanner. There's other people I haven't talked about, but like these connections to where I'm like, shit, like all these connections are so deep, but for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what to do with that, because then I'm like, can't have it all. Bree told me, our friend Bree, she told me this a while back, and it was such a good point. She said, because I was telling her, I was like, dude, like I like this person for this and this person for this, but they're 2 different things, but I want them both. Mm-hmm. Not both people, both
things in attributes. One person. Yeah.
And she was just like, bottom line, like I don't think there's going to be one person that has it all.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a decision you have to make one day. And you know, do you want the person with the crazy great emotional connection, or do you want the stable person? Obviously there's different combinations of that, but like,
right.
you know, usually it's like those polar opposites that's kind of hard to find in one person.
Well, and I'm also I find that I think I'm like a romantic in that I think once the right person comes along, it's no longer this like calculated math equation. It's like, you know, in your gut. Yes. You're not like listing out their pros and cons, as one would say, and you're not like, oh well, this guy had that guy had that. I feel like when the right person comes along, you know, and your gut will tell you, and it's no longer like a standards list, and I have faith in that.
As you should. I do too. I've never actually, like, just for record, I know Alex knows this, but I've never actually like made a list. I've never like, it's not like that calculated.
No, it's just
but the
like
brain naturally does it,
right? And it's things that like we naturally think about.
Yeah.
When we start to date someone new, we're like, hold on, this is cool that this person has this attribute. They don't have this. Like, obviously, we do that. It's not.
But then what happens when you do find somebody, like, I mean, like, I went through it. You know what I'm talking about right now. Like, I found someone with quite literally the best connection I've ever had in my fucking life. But like, there was still something just like missing, and we're not together. And I'm totally okay with that. Yeah. It's not like I'm like doubting it, but then I'm like, am I just going to keep running into this? Like,
I feel like a big part of it too is finding out who you are as an individual, like going back to the whole like being happy being single thing, like taking this time to, this is kind of the process that I went through, taking the time to really find out who I am helped me like shape who would be a good addition to my life. And that really helped the process along of like not finding that happiness in someone else and like like begging for a relationship. Right. I spent a lot of time kind of like, and this is just like how my brain works, kind of like putting together a list of like who I am as a person and like what I want from a loving relationship. And it kind of like really helped me with that like whole standards list, but also like who I see coming into my life on more like a broad level. You know what I mean?
Your compliment.
Yes.
Who's going to walk in and actually be a compliment?
Yeah, exactly. Compliment like who I have grown to be.
Right. I think all these, because I'm on the same page too. Like that's all the work I've been doing this past year. And, you know, on paper, all this work we've done, one would be like, oh, you're happy with yourself. Like you're ready for a relationship. But like, there's still something missing. I don't know. I think like, at least speaking for me, like my independence has gotten so strong that now I'm like, nobody can be enough for me the way I can be enough for me.
I also think like growth as an individual is never ending. We literally don't stop growing until the day we die. Right. And even we can argue beyond that. Right.
Spiritually.
I think that like with that growth along with your life, I think there is like that perfect intersection of someone who can grow with you. And like it's finding that happy medium between like the person who compliments you as an individual, but like who's also ready to grow with you.
Perfectly said. That puts me back into my situation I was in with Tanner. That situation with him, I was doing so much growth and he was supporting me, which was great and lovely. And I will forever love him for that. But it felt unfair to him. Yeah. Because that's not the intersection you're referring to. That the intersection you're referring to is equality.
Yes. For finding an equal. That's like that's like top 3 of my like standards is like finding an equal.
Yes, me too. Especially like with past relationships, I've felt smaller for personal reasons and external reasons. Like, you know, not one person to blame here, but that's always been so shitty. So I feel like you've also helped me kind of get to that point where you're like, you need an equal, someone where there's it's not a competition, it's not a scale, one person's more, you know, important or needing of the other. And I kind of feel like that's how Tanner and I were to a fault, is like I was so obviously going through so much, and him being my best friend and being in the group of all my best friends, we all knew I was kind of going through shit. And I finally like zoomed out one day and I was like, this isn't equal. Right. That's not right for him. Like I felt so bad at one point where I was like, literally like, what about you? Like, how are you? And he's just like, oh, I'm good. Cause like he was in a fine place at that time. And then I felt just like, we're on different chapters of our lives right now.
You're on different growth journeys right now.
Yeah. Little kind of, not really sidebar, but we called Tanner before this episode.
Yes.
And I asked him, I was like, hey, if you want, like, can you actually send me
just a word of
advice for people that are dealing with somebody, romantically, friend, whoever, dealing with somebody who's not ready for love? Because as I've told you guys, like that was kind of why we ended. I just was not ready for, and still just not ready for that like commitment to somebody, regardless of the connection. Making that boundary and being like, I'm not the Kristen I want to be yet, and we're not on the same chapter. So I put him through that. And I asked him, I was like, can you just send a word of advice? And I have not read this yet. I swear to you, I literally copied and pasted from the text. I didn't read it. It's not too long, but this is what he said. He said, it hurts. I wish more people could identify that it's time to get out when feelings aren't mutual, instead of staying just because it feels good. I don't regret for 1 second crossing that line with you. It could just be a channel for you to be reminded that love is still out there. Oh my God.
Stop. My eyeliner's too good. I'm actually tearing up.
I wish I read that before so I could have had this reaction off camera. Fuck. But like, no, adore, like, I don't even want to call him Tanner right now. I want to call him his real name. Thank you, Tanner. Like, I'm going to fucking call you after this. That was really well said. I think I love the last line he said, because he
recognized.
Yeah, like we also, like I told you guys, we had a good talk this weekend, but like he definitely was that kind of lesson for me, was like, I'm still capable of loving, because before that I really was, and you
said that never literally on this podcast. You were like,
right, the last episode of season 1, I was like, he made me feel love again and like realize I can love again.
And for him to recognize like that was, I hate like amounting it to this, but like that was his part in your healing journey and your growth.
Right, part of it, but like
of course.
Yeah. Fuck. I wish I read that before so I could have reacted like and had a moment of silence for a sec.
To switch gears a little bit, do you think like through your growth of like not trying to find the one, but like finding someone who fits well into your life, how has it changed based on like what you've considered your type to be?
I think it started when I threw type out the window.
Right.
I just let that go. I think type is fun when you want to talk like what boys you think are cute and like all of that, but I've never really let that be my spearhead for my next person.
Have you found a pattern in like men that you've like typically gravitated towards as of late?
Emotionally intelligent men. Men that I don't have to constantly be caring for anymore, because I've made that boundary for myself getting through my codependency with people in the past. I'm like, I can't take care of people anymore like that, because I got to take care of me. And I mean, that's still something I'm practicing, because it's definitely doesn't get fixed overnight, because it's such a deep rooted habit of mine. But I'm really, really learning to just like see those, I hate using flags, they're so like ultimatum-y, but those flags from the start. And I think that comes with like the people, like finding men that like aren't hella needy.
Yes.
And like don't need to be talking all the time, and like I really appreciate that, not needing to see each other all the time. And even like right now, like there's someone I'm like very slightly talking to. I think as of late, really slightly.
Yeah.
Because like things changed a little bit. At the beginning, it was like, for a sec, I was like, ooh, I really fuck with this person. Then I was like, yo, slow down.
Yeah.
And I like it because he doesn't live in LA. Like we don't have to see each other all the time. And in the beginning of it, we were seeing each other a lot. And I was like, it got to a point where I was like, fuck, Alex, like I don't want to be doing this like this.
It hit the question of, is this going too fast?
Exactly. And I didn't want that. So now it's like really reeled in, and I haven't even talked to him today, which I like. Yeah. Like I'm okay with that. So yeah, I think just finding people that don't need me.
Yeah.
I think that's where, because like if someone expresses that they need me, I will give them me. And it's not good, because it's just not good. It's not healthy.
A big like red flag for me is control issues. Mm-hmm. And because I think it goes back to my first high school relationship, I had a lot of like, he was very controlling, and I fell into the habit of just like abiding by what he wanted and what he like his literal rules for me. Yeah. And I think that's like from the jump, after like my healing process from that, I've always said like I can't do that again. Nope. And after my recent breakup, I was talking to a guy, and he showed one sign of that. And I remember we were standing in an elevator at Bonnaroo, and he showed a sign, and he was all booty hurt. Literally, like, to say this as an adult is fucking beyond me, but like he was upset that I wasn't communicating with him as much as he wanted me to. And I literally stopped it right then and there.
Yep. Because we're at a fucking music festival. You're with your girls.
Yep.
If you can't handle me being out and having my own day and not being cool with us, possibly not talking that whole day, you're not for me.
Nope. No way.
That is step one. Because same.
It literally gives me the ick factor.
Yeah. Because it's a trigger. Yeah. Because it's like controlling is just not okay for anybody, I think.
Right. That should be a standard for everyone.
It should. And I usually would never tell people what their standard should be, because everybody's different. But no,
it's not okay.
Human being should be controlled by anybody. Right. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. You are your own person.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
They should, if they're in a relationship with you, they should trust you from the jump.
Yep. And if they're not cool with the things you're doing, then they need to step away.
Yep.
It's not about, like, I understand there's push and pull, give and take. There's sacrifices in relationships. That, yes, with a grain of salt, though. Like, if it's a constant thing where they're constantly trying to change things about you, it's not a match.
Right.
Like, it's not that one's a devil and one's an angel. It's just not a match.
You guys just don't work together.
I think that's a big thing, too. Like, when people are being broken up with or trying to break up with somebody, don't make people feel like there's something wrong with them. You don't need it, whether you think there is or not, you don't need to go down that alley.
It's, quite frankly, not your job.
Exactly. So just look at it as it's just two magnets not pairing up. Mm-hmm. And think of it that simple, and then it's easier to kind of express. Because the second you start pointing fingers, then now it's like, now I'm on defense. Now you're my enemy. Now fuck you.
Right.
But if you just like look at it as just not a match.
Look, we don't work.
We don't work. Right. So I just like was jotting shit down in the car today, just like venting. I don't know why, but this topic's easy for me to talk about, but to podcast about is kind of difficult right now, because there's no answer I can really give.
Yeah, I feel like we're asking like a very broad question.
We're just kind of talking.
Yeah.
We're just talking about like where we're at with it. But I wrote this down. I love who I am. I love me, but I don't know if I'm where I'm at with my past trauma to sustain a healthy love.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now. Like we were saying earlier, like on paper, people are like, you need to love yourself before you fall in love. That's the biggest thing. You need to love yourself before you can love anybody else. That is so fucking true.
Yep.
And I do love myself. And then I look back to that quote and I'm like, so I should be ready for love? No. But no, there's so much more that goes into it.
Yeah.
And I think
it's step one.
It's step one for sure. It's definitely a bigger step, but it made me feel like there was something wrong with me for a long time. More recently too, because I was just like, damn, like,
why aren't these amazing connections working out?
Yeah, because I love me, and you're just supposed to love yourself first, so it should be working out. But no, I think there's just regardless of loving me, there's deeper rooted things about my view on love and treatment of love.
Yeah.
Love for me, nurturing for me, when I think of someone, I was talking about this, Monica, when we think of someone who is nurturing us or loving us, our literal response to that is, because from our childhood, we were, I don't want to say trained, we're not dogs, but it was quite literally, it played out in a way that the people that nurtured us were the ones that hurt us. So from a young age, love to me results in pain. So I think maybe subconsciously that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm super blocked right now. And it's so frustrating. I went to a psychic a few weeks ago, and she was even saying that. She's like, dude, your heart is like closed. And I'm frustrated. I literally have a fist right now. Like, frustrated is the word, because I want to be ready, but I know my heart's blocked, but I don't even know what the fuck to do to get unblocked.
Yeah, there's like that weird in between of like where you do all this work and you start to love yourself, and you like try and go by this list of things to like open up your heart, but it's like, and you say like, I'm ready, like I want that.
Yep.
But there's more to it, and we just don't know what it is.
And then I am caught in these situations where I have a connection with somebody, right? The connection's great, and it feels so good and so safe, which is that's a big standard for me, is feeling safe, because I don't often feel safe with people. And I feel safe, but then I start pushing it away. So when I'm pushing it away, I ask myself, okay, are you pushing it away because you know deep down it's not right? Or are you pushing it away out of
fear of getting hurt,
traumatic habits? And I can't tell the fucking difference. I don't know. So it's like, another thing my psychic was saying is like, she's like, you really need to heal and open your heart, because I see this person coming in your life soon, but I'm scared that you're not going to be able to embrace it because you haven't opened your heart. And I'm like, well, fuck. Then what the fuck do I need to do? She's like, rose quartz. I'm like, no, I get that, but like, what else do I need to fucking do? Like, that's where I'm like, my spirituality is like, okay, but now give me logic.
Like like
what do I actually need to be practicing? So if you guys have any advice for me, please let me know. Is there anything I should be doing here? Yeah, I'm really, that's kind of open-ended.
I don't have like a exact quote of where I'm at right now. I just think like
car insurance.
Right.
What's your quote? Where are you at? What's your battle right now? What do you feel like? Because I almost look at it as like, I'm like running into like a rubber wall. I keep like bouncing off and I can't get through the fucking wall. What's your wall right now, if you have one?
I feel like I have the ability to like have a like good chemistry and a connection with a lot of people. And I think it scares me that I'm gonna like, I don't know, like make the wrong decision in like investing my time into someone. And like this comes out a lot when like I have like a potential suitor.
Literally fucking Bridgerton.
I don't know, a potential connection in front of me, and I literally just like turn it away. And like you witness this all the time when like someone hits me up and it could be like something dope where I can go on this date with like a cool guy, but I literally just don't respond.
And you set up the date too.
Yes.
Like you're like, ooh, where should we go? Da da da. And then he's like, all right, pick you up at 8, and you're like,
yeah. And I think that's because like I don't know. Right now I like where I'm at, in like I said, in the sense where I could like go out and have so much fun and like be me and like make these like one night connections, not in like one night stand style, but literally just like,
hi, you're cute, and flirt.
Yes, flirting with like multiple people, and like not having like the commitment to one person.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I eventually want that, right?
You only know that. That's another thing. It's like super societal. Like we're sitting here.
Right.
If you notice, the underlying thing of all our shit is saying like, we have to find that one person. I need to find that one solid person. We can do this forever if we want.
Right.
We really can. And I think a lot of our generation is going to.
Totally.
I think it is.
But then I'm like, I want kids.
Right. Yeah.
But then I can adopt. And I could like be a fucking sorry, that was fucked up. I could adopt. I could be I would love to be a foster mom. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't know. It's literally a battle in my head. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm battling in my head. Like, I want to be single as fuck forever and like not give. I also like, I'm very protective of my love. And like, I harbor like my close friends and like those who I love. They really like, I feel like I want to protect them with my whole being. And like, that's how I am with my love. And if I can't, like, how do I put this? If I run into someone who breaks that and like makes me doubt the way I love and like my own heart, like that's my biggest fear. And I don't want to run into that. And like, I would rather, I don't know.
Not risk it.
I'd rather not risk it.
But I'm going to tell you, like, hearing you say that, that's on you.
Totally.
That's all about you and your confidence and assurance in your own opinions. Because it's not somebody's going to make you feel that way. It's you're going to allow them to.
No, and I know that. Like, I'm very confident in, I think that's like what I'm saying is I'm very confident in the way I love and who I am. But I don't want to bring someone into that who isn't going to appreciate it, because I've had that before where I've given someone my all and they haven't appreciated it. And it does take a hit.
Yeah.
But it's a big standard of mine to like protect the way I love and like for it not to be appreciated. I just want to be appreciated. For it not to be valued is like, that's it's not okay. And like, if I meet someone who shows like any signs of like it not being a match with the way I love, I'm like, it's not going to work.
Good.
So that's why I've kind of like, I like being this single part of me where like I can be the flirtatious person that I want to be and my love is still protected.
Because you're not going any deeper.
Right.
You're going to flirt. Yeah. I get that. And I feel that too. But like, if we do want that to find our person, like we have to finally let that down with somebody. But then that's where your faith in it'll just happen comes in.
Exactly.
So at the end of it, I guess you kind of just have to trust the process either way. But like,
totally. And like I've told myself that like my walls will come down when the right person really, comes into my life.
I'd like to believe that, but I think, I mean, even there's case studies about it. Like those figurative walls don't just come down. They don't.
Yeah.
They very rarely just poof, come down. It takes work.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of fucking work. And so that's where I'm at. I'm like, that's why I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, do I need to find a new therapist? Like, because I want those walls down. I don't want them up because I don't even think they're protecting me. I think they're actually debilitating me finding a good connection.
Yeah.
So I want them down. I don't know. So I'm kind of on the other side of that. And like, I don't know. I think we get into situations and like the biggest thing is being afraid to get hurt, which is so valid because we're human. But I'm also not even afraid of that. I'm kind of okay with getting hurt because I know I can get through it. Yep. I know I can, especially after this past few years. I know I can get through really bad heartbreak. So I'm not worried about that because I'll learn something from it.
I think it's a subconscious.
But so I'm not, okay, this is all in my head. I should spit it out. I'm not afraid to get hurt. So why don't I just dive in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I go to dive in and then I'm like, I don't know. So am I don't knowing because
I think it's not the right person.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Like, no, literally, like phrasing it like that, like you're ready. It's just not happening with the right person.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
I guess it's just not the right person.
And that's how I look at it. Like, I'll be ready when the right person comes along. That I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah. I'm like weirdly okay with getting hurt again.
Yeah. But that's
not
because
weirdly, but like,
yeah, it's not weird. It's because you know you can get through it.
yeah.
And you saw how stronger it made you.
Right.
So it's like that weird like empowerment thing where you're like, I can fucking take on anything I want.
Yeah. So I should just give everything 100%. And if it doesn't work out,
it doesn't work out.
And I can rebuild. We will rebuild.
We run it down.
We run it down. Shit. Oh my God, I got to make some calls. And I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it's definitely, this doesn't necessarily change any action for me, but
it does like open.
Think about.
Yeah.
A big thing, this is actually a big thing with Tanner. Like, I would force, that sounds so bad, but I would force myself to sit in the discomfort of being loved. I've told you this before. Like, affection for me is super hard because I'm not used to it. Compliments, so hard. Words of affirmation, so hard. Like, love to me before my healing was I give, I do not give it, I do not receive it back. And I'm okay. I was okay with that. I was totally okay with that. So there was so many times in my healing that I forced myself to take the compliment. I forced myself to sit in the hug. And I wanted to share this because I really, like, if you're in a situation like I was in, I really suggest doing that. It actually really helped me.
Because you kind of trained yourself to like you could easily tell yourself that you deserve it.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done. And part of the doing is being in that discomfort.
Yeah. I just like would sit in it and be like, just take it. You're safe. It's okay here. You deserve this.
And he means it.
Right. Oh God, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one to believe. But after like being around somebody who does mean it, I now understand the difference in my gut when somebody means it, when someone doesn't mean it. So now I can look back at old situations. You
built yourself a radar.
Right. Like, I'm like, wow, that was not genuine, that last person or whoever. And this one is. So I don't know. I suggest like really like.
So it gives you the strength of like being able to take it for what it is, the compliment, for example.
Yeah.
And like throw it in your radar and you gauge it. And it gives you the power to like, okay, this was thrown at me, but like I can still accept this as love, or I have the power to know the difference.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Oh my God. I love this episode. This is like really opening my eyes, you guys. I Googled an article about like knowing if you're ready for love, and I just pulled these like 2 facts from it. A 2019 study found that when people feel ready for a relationship, actually ready for a relationship, that relationship is 25% less likely to end. And then a quote from
I'd hope.
Right. A love and like psychological specialist in love or some shit like that said, feeling ready leads to better relational outcomes and well-being. When a person feels more ready, this tends to amplify the effect psychologically to commitment on relationships, maintaining stability. But like when I read this, that's where I started getting hard on myself. I was like, will I ever feel ready? So I don't know, like it's the societal pressure is really hard.
And it's such an external factor and you can't control it. And you're like, you keep telling yourself like, I'm ready. But like, maybe you're not.
I don't know, man. Fuck that guy. Fuck that study.
Yeah, where the fuck? Was it a BuzzFeed article?
No, I promise it wasn't. it was like
WebMD.
Right. Wikipedia. I forget what it was. I should have cited my sources. I'm sorry. I wrote down another thing while I was driving. Being ready for love, because I wanted to like write my own definition of what I think for me it is. Being ready for love is being okay with where you're at so you can stably put energy into someone else without cutting yourself short.
Yeah. Your energy could ebb and flow wherever you want, but it will never take away from your being.
Yeah. Is that possible though?
Oh, I think so.
Because like all the time I love spending with myself right now, am I ever going to want to cut that short and like spend it with someone else? I guess if the someone is good.
Right.
I'm literally just thinking out loud right now. When I listen to this back, I'm probably going to sound so dumb. Like
no,
I'm literally
not
just
at
like
all.
thinking out loud.
This is literally like we're having this conversation for a reason.
This is what my brain does, you guys. Like this is actually, I sit here and I'm like, but then da-da-da, no da-da-da, and then and I just like fucking go back and forth. And then at the end of every conversation I have in my head or with you, I just end up just being the same thing where I'm just like, I don't know.
And we don't, and we won't know.
Yeah.
I feel like spending the time to focus on building you as an individual, it's kind of like that whole your vibe attracts your tribe thing. That really shapes the kinds of people that like start to gravitate towards and gravitate towards you at like throughout your growth process. And yeah, so like trust the journey of like you building yourself up as an individual, because anyone else who enters that after, I feel like will match it, and you'll start to, even just like the knowledge of registering, like if you're going through something and the knowledge of you registering this attribute about the other person, that's a step.
Yeah.
Like that's a step in the right direction, and like finding out whether or not you're going too fast or this person is right for you. I don't know. That's just something I wrote down.
No, that definitely tracks. Like, I feel like all you guys can put it into perspective. Like, you know, right after a breakup, when you're like, you know, lack of a better word, in shambles and just like lost and whatnot, your standards are low enough to where you're gonna go do a one night stand and just be like, fuck, I don't even care, like I just need to get my mind off of it, because your vibration is so low. But then like
once you really start to build yourself up again, just like trust that the right people are gonna start to come into your life.
They really will. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Like that totally tracks.
Yes.
Like where I'm at.
Yes. That's okay. I didn't think that I was going to say this, but I feel like it's okay to say. I kind of see myself as a puzzle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a full puzzle.
That's good.
Right. And I've been able to, I feel like at the start of my first adult relationship, I was half a puzzle. And I started to fill my puzzle with his pieces. And his pieces don't fit me. I'm not like, he will never complete my puzzle. When we broke up, I lost his pieces, and I started to build my puzzle back up again with my pieces. And the only thing that'll ever work in my future is if I just like find a nice puzzle that'll look good next to mine.
Right.
And like, I will never find someone who's going to give me my pieces.
Right. So stop
trying to like find people to fill your puzzle. Yep. And just like look for a good looking puzzle that's pretty and like really nice
same
to
color
you.
Scheme.
Same color scheme.
Good frame.
Fits the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
I'm really glad you said
very
that.
Complimentary.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that, because I kind of apologize. I feel like a lot of the narrative of this episode has been about, okay, I'm already good with myself. Now what? We're not thinking about the step before that, when we weren't good with ourselves.
Right.
So maybe we'll do another episode about
backtrack.
Right. I mean, we've done a self-love, haven't we? Self-love club.
With Liza.
Go listen to Self-Love Club with fucking Liza Koshy. That is such a good episode. But to the people that might be at that part, and it's not a step back or a step forward, it's just a different part of your journey. Some steps come before the other for each individual. It's all different. I would definitely suggest listening to that, but I guess in a way it could be a second part to this episode.
Right.
Even though it's in the past, but
you're your own puzzle.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I want to try it and find a way, because I love that analogy. Try and find a way to translate that into, okay, but my puzzle's complete, but then like, what if there's like multiple puzzles that look good next to your puzzle? See what I mean? like,
I mean, that's where it's like, that's where you literally just said that you have the ability to ebb and flow your energy to multiple beings and you're not losing any pieces of your puzzle.
Yes.
You just answered a question that you had 5 minutes ago.
Wait, what I did? What did I ask?
Remember you're like,
I literally
is that
blacked
even...
out this episode. No, I fully blacked out.
Remember you were like, is that possible? Can I give my love to anyone and not lose it from my individuality?
Yes, I did. That was kind of
rhetorical.
Not rhetorical, but like I like to ask questions on here that I think other people will be questioning.
Okay.
Yeah. But like, no, I definitely have had that thought before too.
Right.
I don't know, man. This episode, I thought it would be a little more thought out, but like I said, I still am finding out myself. So
yeah. We don't have the answers.
I don't have the fucking answers. If you're looking for the answers,
not here.
Oddvice, get it? Not advice. It's odd.
No, I knew going into this episode that it was going to be like us working through our thought process and then like you guys have the rest of the job.
Yeah. See, I thought I was gonna help a lot of people and like help.
Oh, I think this is so helpful
for sure. But I thought I was gonna like spit something, but I feel like I sat here and I just stared at the floor the whole time and just blacked out.
That's not true.
Don't remember anything. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I think we could totally do a very easy part 5 through a million.
Yeah.
Yeah. So questions for next week.
For Friday.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I mean, we asked where are you at? What do you do to gauge when you know if you're ready or not? What are some of the things your gut does that's a red flag, that big red light, run, or things that you're on the fence about? Or
if you are in like your if you found your person and if you're in your relationship, what was there a moment where you were like, this is the one? True. What was your gut feeling was it different with other people compared to like who you knew you were going to be with for the rest of your life? Where was that gauge?
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, anything having to do with this. Sorry, I'm still like, I feel like I'm in a very confused headspace right now. I have to go process all this now. And now we have to go to a fucking barbecue. I should be sitting in the corner, like looking at the ground.
Like, am I ready for love?
Mind you, one of the people that are going to be at the barbecue is somebody that's like made me feel something before. We're not a thing anymore, but then I'm gonna be like, wait, were you the one? Like, I'm gonna be like staring at him. He's like, why are you staring at me? I'm gonna be like, I'm just considering maybe you were the one.
I can't wait to go to this barbecue and flirt with so many people.
I'm just gonna sit in fucking silence. I don't know. I just don't know what this barbecue's about to be, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Thanks for watching us literally contemplate life
every week. Quite literally every week. Like we said, we have an episode every Friday, which is a follow-up to all of our Monday episodes. It's a Patreon exclusive. Everything will be linked down below, but we have several tiers, different benefits within those tiers, but all tiers are able to listen to that episode, and you send in your submissions, and we get to respond to them and whatnot. So, yeah, but even if you're not a patron, comment down below some answer. I'm just hoping maybe you guys can help me with some of the questions I spit out here. I hope there's like a therapist watching or some shit, but we love you guys so much. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please rate us 5 stars and leave a review. That always helps. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Other than that, I think that's it for updates. But yeah, we love you guys so much. Make sure you check out the Pill Club and check out Dadgrass. Such a cute name. Brands are so cute nowadays.
I love it.
It's so fucking cute. All right, love you guys so much. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Contemplate.